Lexington police are searching for the person responsible for murdering a woman early Sunday morning.
We'll show you how a family is remembering a young boy who died after falling into a pond at a cemetery.
How an NBA player is giving back to the community that helped launch his career.
This is WKYT News at 5.
Good afternoon to you. Police continue to search for the person responsible for Lexington's latest murder.
Police say they found 46-year-old Stephanie Mullins dead behind an apartment building on Cross Keys Drive early yesterday morning. And today we're also learning more about Mullins from her roommate. WKYT's Victor Puente has more in our top story at 5.
Lexington police tell me they still haven't made an arrest in the death of 46-year-old Stephanie Ann Mullins. The people who knew her say she loved her grandchildren, and they can't believe she's gone. The Fayette County Coroner's Office released her identity this morning. Lexington police say her body was found around 6:15 Sunday morning. They say a neighbor heard gunshots in the park that backs up to these apartments on Cross Keys Road. When they arrived, they found her body. They're still trying to find the person responsible and to account for Mullins' whereabouts Saturday night. Last month, Mullins was cited for prostitution, but that case never made it to court. Her roommate says she'd been working to turn her life around, and that he can't believe she's gone.
She had great conversations. She was a good friend. She's going to be missed. You know, I miss her already. You know, I wish whoever done that would have took the time to get to know her before they did what they did.
Police are asking for tips in this case from anyone who may know how Mullins died. They're also asking that anyone who saw her Sunday night or early Sunday morning, please give them a call. In Lexington, Victor Puente, WKYT.
And this is the 13th homicide in Lexington this year.
A family is mourning the loss of an 11-year-old who drowned over the weekend. DeShannon Davis died last night after falling into a pond at Lexington Cemetery. He and 2 other children had gone there to fish. WKYT's Sean Moody talked to Smith's aunt, who shared her memories of the boy with us.
This pond is at the back of the Lexington Cemetery property. It's kind of set away from some of the graves. That sign right there says danger, deep water, no swimming, no fishing. You can see there's a little bit of a drop off at the edge of it here. It's about 4 feet down to the water surface. From there, it's about 7 or 8 feet deep. Lexington police say 11-year-old DeShannon Davis and a couple of his friends had come out here to fish in that pond when he fell in. They said he was in that water for around 30 minutes while his friends tried to find help. This was the second weekend in a row that someone has drowned in this pond. Last weekend, police said a 29-year-old man fell in while walking with his girlfriend.
We're concerned this is the second drowning in 2 weeks in the same pond. So that is of concern with us, and we'll be working with our partners here at Lexington Cemetery to hopefully come up with a solution as to what we could do to make that safer.
DeShannon's aunt told us that he loved to be outside with his friends, but that his mother had warned him not to fish at that pond anymore after that man drowned last weekend. Now they want to see a fence go up to stop this kind of thing from happening to anyone else.
I actually want to put a fence around the lake to where kids can't go and fish in it, or if they can go and fish, they won't fall in the lake. The lake will be protected.
We also reached out to Lexington Cemetery's management today. They said they couldn't comment right now. In Lexington, Sean Moody, WKYT.
Lexington police said they talked with cemetery representatives about making repairs to a fence to make the pond more secure and offered any assistance they could give. Well, get ready for another steamy and stormy week for us.
We have tropical air moving in with daily storm chances. Let's check in now with meteorologist Jim Caldwell. He's here with an early check of the forecast. Jim?
It's going to be pretty ugly out there, guys. The feel of the air is going to knock you down when you walk outside, and then the showers and thunderstorms are going to have so much moisture to work with, we could run into more flash flood concerns. We even had that earlier today in parts of southeastern Kentucky. Right now, a lot of the rain is dying out. The rest of us here in central Kentucky, as expected, we stayed dry through the daytime hours today, and you can see just a few showers remain. Even heightened flood concern now for you folks there in Pike County, and some more they are along the Kentucky and Virginia state line into Letcher County as well. Here's some of the headlines as we move forward. We're tracking the tropical moisture as it has arrived into the area now. Very humid conditions will settle in. Not only that, but these are heavy rain producing storms. Now, what you're looking at is a rainfall forecast between now and the end of the week, end of the weekend. Now, here's the catch. Any one of these thunderstorms that go up could produce that amount of rain or more. Earlier today we had a shower, or a thunderstorm really, that produced 3 inches. So that's the type of setup that we have going forward here. So that's just kind of a general rule, and that's just giving us a little bit of guidance that this is going to be a very wet week. Not only just the rain chances, just being outside in general. If it's not raining, it'll certainly feel like it. It's going to be that kind of week. We will track the rest of the chances coming up for you in just a few minutes.
We are learning more about the victims of a deadly crash on Interstate 64. Our county-by-county coverage begins at Montgomery County. The sheriff says that 2 people inside a truck were killed when it slammed into the back of a semi in the westbound lanes near mile marker 104. And the coroner tells us the victims are from out of state. Their names will not be released until family arrives later tonight. In Franklin County, a warning for car owners. The sheriff's office says there have been numerous thefts from cars in Evergreen Estates and the Coolbrook subdivision. Authorities are asking people to lock their doors and remove valuables from their car. The sheriff's office is stepping up patrols in those neighborhoods.
August 27, 2006 changed the lives of many around central Kentucky. It's the day Comair Flight 5191 crashed during takeoff at Bluegrass Airport, killing 49 people. Pat Smith was one of them. As WKYT's Kristen Kennedy shows us, 10 years later, his legacy lives on through a golf tournament to help others.
Monday was a beautiful one to bring out the clubs at Spring Valley Golf Course. But this day wasn't all about the game.
Well, thank you. We appreciate
what you guys do. Big article in the paper today about just what this is all about.
Yeah.
About the kids needing homes to even score well and do well in school.
Players raised money for Habitat for Humanity and honored the legacy of one of its board members, Pat Smith.
It's never easy when someone dies, be it a plane crash or a car accident or just old age. So this is a good way to continue it on and keep on the good work, keep up the good work that they were doing and what we enjoy doing as well.
This is Brian Smith. His father, Pat, was one of the 49 who died when Flight 5191 crashed almost 10 years ago.
We were really tight. We did a lot of things together. It was certainly a big loss for me and my sister.
Pat Smith was on his way to finish building Habitat homes that day, and Hurricane Katrina ravaged Mississippi. People who knew him say Smith had a huge love for helping others. Here you can see him on a build with former President Jimmy Carter. His reach with the hammer stretched all the way to the people of the West African country of Ghana. Smith is gone, but his hard work and this tournament have raised $1 million for Habitat for Humanity.
Last year we built a house and we did 2 other big projects with Habitat with it. So it's only going to get bigger and better, and we'll continue to build houses and continue to do good work.
In Lexington, Kristen Kennedy, WKYT.
The Pat Smith Habitat for Humanity Endowment Fund has now raised enough money to build 10 houses in Lexington. A former Morehead State basketball star returned to Morehead today.
And now a member of the NBA, Kenneth Fareed, came to give back to the place that helped him reach the next step in his career. Andrea Walker shows us what he did for some school children in need. The story's new at 5.
Fun day! Let's go. Everybody have fun.
It can be tough getting kids excited about going back to school, but when you add in a bouncy house, food, face painting, and a local legend.
I'm here to interact, have fun. If y'all want to get on the court, we can shoot too. Hey, I'll take any of y'all.
That changes things.
Look at that. Well, this is going to be my first NBA player I've ever met. I think I might get him to sign my hat.
Oh!
Kenneth Manimal Fareed and a few of his former teammates from Morehead State University are now giving back to the community that gave so much to them.
Morehead is home. I went here for 4 years. Met the townies, the community. I come back and everybody know who I am, so this is home.
The Manimal Foundation provided kids with some much-needed school supplies today to start the year off on the right foot.
Now, the kids won't get these backpacks till the first day of school, but here's a sneak peek at what's going to be inside. We got pencils, colored pencils, pencil bags, glue sticks, a notebook, and of course, a Manimal t-shirt.
May Stallworth, a former teammate who now helps run the Manimal Foundation, acknowledges that without the education they received through basketball, they wouldn't be the men they are today.
You never know how many lives you can touch just from a game of basketball that we all play here. And like I said, we still have big ties in this community that's going a long way. And a guy like Kenneth Fareed, who has so many, supporters, and his name carries so much weight. that he wants to use it in a positive way, and this is his way of using it in a positive way.
Andrea Walker, WKYT.
They sound pretty excited. Fareed worked with the Youth Service Center in Moorhead to identify students who really needed supplies the most. 100 students will receive the new Adidas backpacks on the first day of school.
Jobs and the economy dominate on the campaign trail as Donald Trump delivers some specifics on his economic plan and Hillary Clinton responds. I'm Craig Boswell at the White House. That's coming up.
And new rules went into effect today for e-cigarettes. More on the restrictions meant to keep them out of the hands of children. That's in Better Living.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Jim Caldwell.
Pretty decent day out there. You did notice a little more humidity, but it wasn't out of control. We're not talking about triple-digit heat index values, but certainly in the low 90s, but very normal for this part of August, but we'll be close in the coming days. Let's look outside right now from our sky cam. There you can see Winchester Road and a few cars just buzzing along there, and the clouds off in the distance. That's really been the only thing we've had to deal with here in Lexington for most of the day. You go down to our south and east, they had a little more shower and thunderstorm activity in southeastern Kentucky. 84, that's actual air temperature. Feels like 87, so the humidity has a little bit of an impact on what it feels like out there currently. Area-wide, you're going to find low 80s to our east where it's been raining, and you're going to find mid and upper 80s where it has not, even closer to 90 degrees or right at it. Out to our west into Louisville where they were even further away from some of the rain chances out there in the clouds. Anyway, let's see what we've got going on with the heat index, and you're going to see it feels just a little bit worse in some locations, with low 90s being more common, at least the worst of the case scenario. Now, what we have with the muggy meter, it's not backing off. It's just getting worse over the next few days. So throw that into the in-between time of showers and thunderstorms. Here we are in the in-between time across southeastern Kentucky because a lot of their thunderstorm activity and just plain old shower activity is now dying out. But it won't last long because we've got this out there, an area of low pressure that's feeding moisture in, and it will be feeding that tropical pipeline of moisture into Kentucky over the next several days as well. Here's the way all that kind of comes together. The low will backtrack. It'll start to move along the Gulf Coast, and as it does, it just picks up and deposits even more tropical moisture across Kentucky. So with that moisture increasing, that tropical feel, and this is the bad kind of feel you get out of the air, and when you walk outside and it's almost hard to breathe at times, that's the type of air mass that's going to try to settle in here. And then when you get tropical air into a situation like this, throw in some showers and thunderstorms, it's easy to get heavy rain potential thrown into it as well. Things quieten down even for eastern Kentucky tonight. We get into your Tuesday, and the chances will start ramping up once we get into the afternoon and evening. And again, any one of these thunderstorms that go up can and will likely produce some heavier rainfall. So watch for flash flooding as the week progresses here, because we'll certainly have that. We've been on high alert with that for the past few weeks because the ground's been so saturated. You throw in these type of thunderstorms, guys, and you are just on a whole new level. Something we'll watch all week.
Sure.
I swear the forecast has not changed in over a month.
Right?
We sit out here and watch you and Chris Bailey just say, here it is.
Here it is, same old, same old. You know what? When I come out, I really have to change the numbers around. This is quite nice, actually.
Thanks.
Okay.
Well, there's a collision on DeLong Road at Colliver. Now, this is a non-injury crash. It's showing one lane block, so should get past that one okay there out in the county. Drive times to Georgetown, 17 minutes, to Paris, 22, and to Richmond on I-75 southbound, about 24 minutes. Now back to you in the studio.
Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump is sharing his economic plans for the country, what he wants to do if elected.
A family is not giving up for the search for the body of a missing loved one. Why they say a discovery last week could provide them some closure on WKYT News at 5:30. Delta has resumed some flights after a computer problem. A power outage at the company's hub in Atlanta knocked out its computers. Hundreds of flights had to be canceled. More than 1,000 others were delayed. And more than half a dozen of those delays included flights to and from Bluegrass Airport. If you have a flight with Delta tonight, you're encouraged to keep an eye on your flight status.
Authorities have performed an autopsy on a 10-year-old boy killed at a water park. Caleb Schwab died yesterday while riding the Verrückt water slide at a water park in Kansas City, Kansas. That slide, which is billed as the world's largest, faced multiple delays before it opened in 2014. Adjustments reportedly had to be made to the slide's second hill after tests showed rafts flying off the side. Park officials say the ride is safe.
All our rides are inspected every day, actually. and our rides are inspected by an outside party at the start before the season starts.
Schwab is the son of a Kansas state representative. The family visited the park as part of a special free admission day for lawmakers. The park is now closed indefinitely. Workers have started building a stone wall around a Walt Disney World lake where an alligator killed a toddler. Disney officials say the wall is part of a new security plan following the death of 2-year-old Lane Graves in June. Disney also put up warning signs and ropes around the ponds. Donald Trump delivered some specifics on his economic vision for the country.
The Republican presidential nominee outlined tax proposals to stimulate more job growth while attacking his rival Hillary Clinton. As Craig Boswell shows us, Clinton responded this afternoon.
Donald Trump delivered an economic plan focused on overhauling the tax code, rethinking America's energy policy, and tearing up trade agreements.
Americanism, not globalism, will be our new credo.
Trump proposed lowering the corporate tax rate from 35 to 15% and now calls for 3 income tax brackets of 33, 25, and 12%. The businessman also called for full deductions of child care expenses.
No one will gain more from these proposals than low and middle income Americans.
Trump rarely strayed from the teleprompter, even while protesters repeatedly interrupted.
Very well planned out, every couple.
There were plenty of Hillary Clinton attacks as well. Trump called his Democratic rival a candidate of the past. Clinton fired back while campaigning in Florida.
His tax plans will give super big tax breaks to large corporations and the really wealthy, just like him and the guys who wrote the speech.
Clinton called Trump's plan a spruced up version of trickle-down economics.
Well, we're going to turn that upside down. We're going to make the wealthy pay their fair share in taxes for a change.
The latest Washington Post poll shows more Americans trust Trump with the economy than Clinton. Craig Boswell, CBS News, the White House.
Hillary Clinton will give her own economic speech at the Detroit Economic Club on Thursday. Deputies arrested 9 people over the weekend, many of them members of the same family. Why they're all behind bars on WKYT News at 5:30.
New rules on e-cigarettes take effect today, and if you are looking for a job, Kroger wants you. Those stories next in Better Living. It is time now for Better Living, health, education, and consumer news that impacts your life. New rules to try and keep tobacco products out of the hands of children have taken effect. Starting today, e-cigarettes, cigars, and hookah will be regulated just like cigarettes. Chris Martinez shows us the changes.
27-year-old Matthew Ron gave up regular cigarettes for electronic cigarettes about a year ago, and so far hasn't looked back.
It doesn't have that same aftertaste as smoking like cigarettes, and I don't have like a terrible smell when I walk around.
But the government is concerned these products can end up in the hands of children. So starting Monday, new rules take effect that ban sales to minors.
The new FDA regulations make it illegal to sell e-cigarettes, cigars, or hookah tobacco products to anybody under the age of 18.
Experts believe flavored tobacco products and e-cigarettes is one reason teenage use has skyrocketed. The FDA says e-cigarettes can contain nicotine, which is addictive.
The earlier a kid experiments with an addictive nicotine-containing product, the more likely it is that they will progress to regular use of that product.
California has been aggressive at keeping all tobacco products, including e-cigarettes, away from young adults. You have to be at least 21 to buy any tobacco product here. The new rules require retailers to now verify a customer's age via photo ID. The FDA says vendors will first get a warning letter if they're caught selling to minors. They'll face fines if it happens a second time. Chris Martinez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
One e-cigarette industry group says it supports a national age on the sale of vapor products and maintains that the products are safe. The group Science has confirmed vapor products are 95% less harmful than combustible cigarettes. Kroger is putting up the Help Wanted sign. The company plans to hire 700 people, many of them here in Kentucky. The hiring fair takes place from 3 to 8 tomorrow at stores in central and southern Kentucky. If you're interested, you can apply online before the event. We have a link and information on participating stores on WKYT.com. You won't be able to watch free television episodes on Hulu for much longer. The website is dropping free television episodes within the next few weeks. Hulu started as a free site but launched a subscription version in 2010. The company plans to launch an online TV service next year. Now, here's what's coming up for you at 5:30.